What's up, guys? First, I want to say go to patreon.com/Yannis Pappas Hour for our weekly bonus episodes. It's only $5 a month, and satisfaction will be guaranteed. Ask the people who are part of the Fediverse. I'm in Denver right now this weekend. Go check me out if you're there. Toronto next, March 23rd at the Royal Theater. Show added. First show sold out. Few tickets left for the second show. Then I'm in Cleveland, March 29th through 30th. Tulsa, April 5th through 6th. Kansas City, April 11th through 13th. Los Angeles at the Netflix is a Joke Festival, May 2nd. Rally Improv, May 17th through 18th. Just announced I will be at Harrah's in Atlantic City. Harrah's in Atlantic City, June 22nd. Get those tickets now. YannisPappasComedy.com. Then we got Dania Beach, Tacoma, Brea, West Nyack, and Brookfield coming up later. Get your tickets, YannisPappasComedy.com. Now enjoy this app. Hello, everybody. My name is Yannis Pappas. You are watching the Yannis Pappas Hour. Most of you know this. A few of you clicked on this and went, what is this? Well, I say stick around. If you like a weekly recap of the news mixed with a comedian's input, then this is the show for you. No sacred cows and a little bit of Zyn, just because everyone loves Zyn right now, especially my nicotine addiction. A lot of important things to get to this week. Most importantly, I will start with the most important news that Airbnb has finally banned cameras in Airbnbs, which I didn't know was a thing. I guess there's tons of footage of me whacking off in somebody's bedroom. What can you do? So this is good news for people who want to go down on their pet goldfish in bedrooms and who want to shower without being looked at. I had no idea this was a thing. But apparently you were allowed to have cameras in common areas, as if someone's going to really designate when they're in somebody else's house, whether they're going to jerk off in the bedroom or the living room. It's a lot more exciting when you go raw daddy, butt to leather on the living room couch. Nobody likes to do it in the bed. You can do it in bed at home. Everyone likes to stand up on the counter and jerk off down onto the floor. That's what makes staying at an Airbnb exciting, and then just hoping you get a 5-star rating so you can giggle and know there's jizz on the floor for the next people. Because have you met people? People are always going to do bad things, including make stand-up shows without audiences. Just a call back to our Patreon, patreon.com/Yannis Pappas Hour. I guarantee satisfaction if you come to our bonus episodes, people. What else is going on? Victims of Catholic nuns, quote unquote, rely on each other in clergy abuse because they feel like they've been overlooked. Boo-hoo. Can I say boo-hoo? What happened? What happened? A nun hit your knuckles with a ruler? Try getting by a guy with pale face and posh marks who calls himself dad with a white collar on and says this is best for your religious education. Your knuckles are going to recover. But getting popped in the butt is going to leave a bigger mark. So boo-hoo. The nun yelled at you. I don't want to hear it. It says a lot different. The difference between abuse from a priest and a nun. I'll take abuse from a nun. But I hear you. Get a payout because the Catholic Church has got deep coffers of money. So listen, I got yelled at by a nun one time in the street. I'm suing too. Haiti, I have to cancel my vacation tickets to Haiti. I was going to go to Haiti for some good barbecue human leg. But apparently the ambassadors are pulling out and my resort is temporarily out of business until they can figure out who's in control of that country. Listen, I don't even think Wyclef Jean can get us out of this mess that we got going on in Haiti. There's a video of a guy eating a human leg on a barbecue, like Greek Easter with a lamb. It's a human leg. At least I hope you put Bubba's sugar-free barbecue sauce on it. John Mulaney's speech at the Oscars was all the rave. We watched it. It got great reviews. He was rambling on. I don't know if I loved it because of the speech. I think I loved it because he's clearly back on cocaine, which made me love John Mulaney more. That's my take from watching that speech is clearly the guy's on cocaine because he started rambling about Field of Dreams. And then people were like laughing because they didn't know what was going on. I'll tell you what's going on. He's on coke and you're not. So he's on this level, you're not. It's not his problem that you guys are all not on coke. Shout out to him. I finally watched Poor Things to watch Emma Stone get banged out, and she does. We will talk about it. I don't know what to feel about that movie. I never left the movie going like, what am I supposed to feel here? But all I can tell you is Gerard Carmichael was great in it. It was a period piece but with flying things. I don't know what was going on, but he was a sageist black kid who was a cynic, and he prevented Emma Stone from killing herself again. Shout out to him. The Korean guy, I think his name was, I was surprised to find out he was Korean. He finally gave his testimony in front of Congress. He's the guy who gave the report on Biden and Trump, and their mishandling of classified documents. And the only thing I was surprised by in his summation was that he's a Korean guy. And I'm guessing Korean. He's an Asian guy. I had just Robert Hur, H-U-R, is an Asian guy. So that's what I took from that is, you can't judge an Asian by its name anymore. It used to be, it was a point blank, you're walking into a room, it's going to be an Asian. Because it was Vera Wang. It was Steve Wang. It was John Wang. It was, is there an Asian version of John Wang called John Wang? There should be. There should be John Wang movies. There should be John Wang movies where they're riding around on ponies because it's got to be lower to the ground for them to get on them. Anywhere, Oregon, the Oregon governor had to reverse decriminalizing possession of drugs in Oregon because she did it. She tried to live the libertarian dream of let people do what they want, and it didn't work out because I'm going to call back to a previous episode. Have you met anyone? Drug deaths tripled in 3 years, going back to 2019 when this legislation was implemented. She's recriminalizing possession of certain drugs in the law because they just started fucking dying like flies because people can't be trusted. They're little children. That's why Keynes is the only economist that has it right, and he's the only one for adults. We got plenty to talk about. Taco Bell's closing in Oakland. Steph Curry says he's going to run for president. The Oscars happened, and spring is here, my friends, because global warming isn't real, but whatever it is, the flowers smell good. This is the Yannis Pappas Hour. You know the deal. Strip down, put on your swim trunks, and stand in the living room.
Yannis Pappas. Yeah. When you all tucked up in the baby long, and the news online going on and on, what's right and wrong, and it's something up. Now here comes a great kid, you can trust.
So let's start with our executive branch today. Our federal executive branch leader, Joe Pop Biden, as he's known by his grandkids, Pop. As he's known by the rest of America, he's still here? Yes, he is. And I don't know what amphetamines they put that guy on for the State of the Union, but he was money. Again, it's a low bar, but he looked amped up. They pumped that 82-year-old with some type of drug that the NFL hasn't even heard of yet. Okay, because the NFL used to just pump you full of something. You'd have a broken collarbone, and they're like, you're playing. Whatever they gave that guy, he performed. He was loud. He seemed on point. Listen, he was able to raise $10 million right after that because people looked at him and they said, he's pretty on point. But here's the problem. He's still 82. So he's still past the median age of when guys die. And Trump ain't young. He's 77. That's the average male lifespan in America as well. So, whatever happened, it was a pretty decent showing for him as far as him just remembering stuff and speaking clearly. Again, it's a pretty low bar. It's like saying a kid with special needs used the right fork at a fancy dinner. You're going like, wow, he used the salad fork for the salad. But that's where we are. And Biden is going to be running against Trump. The Supreme Court has said this election seems like it's going to happen. And you all make your pick, Y'all make your pick. I feel like the debate should happen in a nursing home. Instead of water, they should just take a spoon of applesauce, just take a dab, both of them. He's not young either. He's misspoke a few times too. I mean, he's a tireless 77-year-old, but the UFC fans love this guy. He walked into Miami, and it was like anti-Castro just walked in. They really gave him an ovation in Miami when he walked in at the UFC fights. What a card, too, by the way. But speaking of Biden, one of the big moments that happened that I'm sure you're hearing on all the podcasts. Sorry, I just had a Biden moment. Hearing on all the podcasts is when I think it was it was a MSNBC. I think an MSNBC interview where the MSNBC reporter really wanted to, really, really, really attack Biden with an issue that really connects to Americans, and that is his usage of the word illegal during the State of the Union address. He called illegals illegal, and the reporter definitely got him to say, I regret using that verbiage. I regret using illegal to describe undocumented. It's almost like they're trying to lose, right? Some part of you going like, are they now, does it always switch? Like, does one side did they meet in a back room somewhere when they go to that freaking pedophile festival in Northern California? What's that called? That Alex Jones snuck in where they burn an owl? This is true, by the way.
Really?
Yeah, what's it called? Bohemian Grove. Oh. When they go to Bohemian Grove every year, do they just say, okay, this year you're going to be the Washington Generals and we're going to be the Harlem Globetrotters? And they just switch all the time since it's a two-party system? Is it just the WWE where there's good guys and bad guys and you can't be a good guy, bad guy? Is it just heel and hero? Because otherwise, how do you explain like something so, if you're a political advisor, you just go, hey man, most Americans would actually like, if you're running from the left, if you just said, come on, man, that would be a perfect opportunity for a come on, man. That would be a perfect opportunity for a patented, come on, man. A Biden, come on, man. You know what I was saying. You know what I was saying. Come on, man. They're synonymous. Let's stop. We're talking about policy here, man, not words. It's pretend outrage. Nobody was at home except for absolute far left fucking maniacs, which is what the left wing has been split into now. The left wing has been split. It used to be there was like maniacs. There was like a few, right? You'd have like your David Duke or like you'd have your one or two, right? On the far right. And there was like a few fringe far righters. And then there was like, you had your John McCain's and a lot of Republicans were like that. And then on the left, you had just your Clinton, Obama's, Carter's. It was just very like, yeah, even Reagan was like, we're never getting rid of Medicare. Like it was just more of that kind of, just closer to each other. They could sit and dine, and they could sit and dine. Like, I disagree with you, Joe. And he's going, come on, man, we going golfing tomorrow? Yeah, we're going golfing. Now it's like both parties have split into two different parties. The Republican Party is now just as split as the Democrat Party, right? You have your Hamas wing you got your straight up Israel wing, and you got your Hamas wing. That issue that was already teetering. They were like, we got things, we have a lot in common. Vote Biden. He's better than Trump. And now they're going, we're not voting Biden. That issue just formed a whole faction of the left wing that is, they represent Palestine. I mean, what do you want me to tell you? It's a big issue for them. And it's a bad thing happening over there. And then you got the right wing, which is just Trump and not Trump. Trump now, his staffers are just cleaning out the RNC, right, of all the never Trumpers. And there's just two different Republican parties now. There's the Trump party, and then who's the other fucking old bag? Mitch McConnell? There's the Mitch McConnell guys.
He's retiring.
Yeah, he's retiring, so that's it. So, he's like, who is the chancellor of Prussia or whatever before Hitler came, that old dude? He's going away. And now dictator Trump is taking over. I'm not comparing him to Trump, but I'm saying that if I did, Trump would probably go, listen, he did a lot of good things, which is something that he was found to have said. He did build a few roads. I mean, the people who bring that up, though, I mean, it's like, even Ted Bundy brushed his teeth. You know what I mean? I think if you build a few roads and you get the economy moving, you can't really give credit to that when the guy, exterminates a bunch of people. It's like, how about can we at least agree that Hitler was bad? We're in a weird place as a country and especially when you go on X. Boy, I'm not going to say it's not fun because it is funner. It's not a word, but I'll say it. It is funner to see those posts. They're translating Hitler's speeches now with AI into English, going like, look, he's not that bad. Look at what he's saying. He's just saying he wants to get rid of the international Jew war funders. That's not that bad. We're in a weird place when we're split on whether Hitler was a bad guy. It's a strange thing. It's a strange thing I just said that I know is true. I dream of a day. Martin Luther King dreamed of a day where you wouldn't be discriminated on race and people would be judged by the content of our character. I, as of today, dream of a day where we could all agree that Hitler was a bad guy, that he had bad ideas and he was a bad guy. I just dream of that day. I hope we can get there. I know there's people watching this now going, Yanni, he did do a lot of good things. And look, if you hate Jews, you hate Jews. I mean, what do you want me to do? But he didn't only kill Jews, okay? They definitely overtook that PR, but he killed, I think, 6 million nuns as well, including my entire extended family. So can we just agree that he was a bad guy? Anyway, what was I talking about before that? Oh, the split in the party. Yeah, I mean, it's pretty crazy that using the word illegal, instead of undocumented, which means illegal, and they're synonymous, is something that he would regret saying in order to sort of try and reach across the aisle to his own aisle. Because the people that were upset about this were people who were sitting on Capitol Hill for his State of the Union wearing keffas, or whatever they're called. I don't know what they're called, but Palestinian scarves. So this is his cry for unity and saying, hey, man, come on, tell your supporters to vote for me. I'm sorry I used the word illegal for illegals. Illegal is the new N-word for illegals. It's a bad word now. It's a bad word to call someone an illegal because nobody is illegal. You're not no human is illegal. And don't refer to their status. Illegal, and he regretted, more specifically, which makes it even better, I'm kicking my legs out, because, look, news is better suited now in comedians' hands. It's just, we've met our match. It's like a match made in heaven. We're supposed to be talking about this stuff now. This is not beyond my scope of expertise anymore. This is right in my wheelhouse. I have worked on Capitol Hill for a little bit, but I've never been in government. I'm not in politics. I don't even have a master's degree. This used to be nobody would take me seriously. Now you should take me seriously because now this is in my wheelhouse. This is on my level because he regretted using the word illegal, and I kid you not, obviously during the State of the Union, in reference to describing the undocumented, the poor, undocumented, asylum seeker, refugee running from tragedy, Venezuelan man who was charged with killing a Georgia nursing student. So that the worst part about that was that he described him as illegal. It bears repeating that he was here illegally. So he says, I shouldn't have used illegal. It's undocumented. What the fuck does that mean? I mean, what is going on? How am I supposed to add comedy to this? That would be the joke. I would have made that joke. Be like, come on, man, don't call him illegal. Remember, he's undocumented. That's like saying, hey, man, don't call him short. Remember, he's tiny. Hey, man, don't call him black. Remember, he's a brother. Hey, man, don't call him Greek. You remember, he's a Hellenic guy. Hey, man, don't call it a pen. Call it a writing apparatus. Hey, man, don't call it a camera. Call it a weird devil instrument from the conquistador white man god. Hey, man, don't call it a phone. Call it a phone. Hey, man, don't call Jesse a half Italian, half Jew. Just call him a half Italian, half Jew. Hey, man, don't call a trans woman a trans woman. Just call her a trans woman. Hey, man, don't call a pillow a pillow. Call it a soft thing with encasing over it. Hey, man, don't call it water. Call it H2O. I could go on and on. Hey, don't call Biden an old guy, okay? That's not nice. Call him an elderly maniac. That's better. Unbelievable. It's just a layup. It's just sort of a layup for the other party. It's a soundbite that you can it's just a layup. And it makes you wonder. It makes you wonder if they want to give it away or what kind of bubble his advisors live in. I get a little peek into that, speaking to my brother once in a while. But, yeah, people's bubbles are, they don't travel. Nobody travels. Nobody watches, other news. The good thing about this was that it was on MSNBC. So there's no way even people on the left watching NBC are just going, there's no way they're not going because once the migrants got shipped up north, things just changed. Things just changed. Things just became, just get them out of here. That will be great. Don't tell anyone I told you, but just make them disappear. If I don't see him in the kitchen, I don't want to see him. If I'm building an extension on my house, it's okay to see him, but other than that, I don't want to see him. If they're making my grilled cheese at a diner, that's fine. But if they're standing on the side of the highway and they're saying, no speak English, need the money, I just don't want to see it. So here we are in New York, where our Governor Kathy Hochul had to send troops. God, this is weird. This is very third world what's happening. And how do people think that the Democrats have a chance with all this going on? There's millions of undocumented. There's millions of glorious undocumented human beings in this country right now. They've been doing crime in New York. They've been attacking police officers in New York. They killed a woman in Georgia, amongst other things. And there's not enough jobs. There's not enough condos going up for the low undocumented labor. I'll never call it illegal, even though it is illegal. I'll call it undocumented. It's undocumented labor. And in addition to that, our most cherished city, New York, via a Democratic governor has called in the National Guard to the New York City subway system. I don't know what's going on in there because I don't take the subway, but we can ask our local resident Pori, Jesse, what's going on in the subway? Is crime bad?
It's not good.
Well, I guess it can't be good if they call in the National Guard.
Yeah.
They're
saying that it's to make people feel better, right?
Yeah.
They're saying, oh, you'll feel better if you see some military guys with guns.
Right. Well, that's the way you soften. We just want to make you feel better. This has nothing to do with an actual spike in crime.
Yeah.
We just want to spend all these we want to spend all this additional taxpayer money that you're already spending on housing and feeding undocumented individuals. See, this is what a neighbor of mine who works on this told me. He was like, what people don't understand, and he was like kind of off the record, he's like, what people don't understand, I've mentioned this before on the podcast, is not only are the taxpayers footing the bill for undocumented housing and livelihood. They're footing the bill for the temporary ad hoc solutions in overtime. And now the National Guard aren't hired by Boeing. You're paying for that. You're paying for the National Guard to be on duty in the subway station. So I don't think they would just do it to make you feel better. I don't think they would do it to just make you feel better. I think they're doing it as a response to a real crime spike or a threat.
Oh, that's how Hochul's softening it.
Yeah, but I mean, are people stupid?
Apparently they think so.
Apparently they think people are stupid.
Yeah.
That's the problem. That the Democratic Party has become this party where they think that like people are stupid.
And our eyes don't work.
Yeah, and like eyes and ears don't work, and
Yeah.
like things like synonymous words aren't going to frustrate people. Like if you make that an issue and you think that's important, you know, when you read a statistic like 80% of Americans want a wall now, you're going like, I don't think too many people were upset about you calling the person who murdered a woman illegal when he was illegal. I'm not sure there was one person beyond some fucking maniac, you know?
The purple hairs.
Yeah. I mean, outside of Alexandria AOC's condo, I don't think anyone had a problem with it. I don't even think she had a problem with it at this point. I think she was going like, this is getting out of hand. It used to be that I wouldn't go to the neighborhoods that I represent. Now I can't even go to the neighborhoods that are fancier that I like to go to because it's safer. Do you think she's ever going to hang out at Cafecita Leche in the Bronx? You think she's even ever going to deep in Corona, Queens to go to La Verda Social Perqueta Pollo Champion?
She did get harassed at the movies, though. Did you see that?
She got arrested? Oh, she got harassed at the movies, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because of someone from her own side.
Yeah. To the
Yeah.
left of her.
Yeah. So
About Israel, Palestine. Yeah.
that's got to make you feel weird. I love it that people are so myopic about that they think that, you know, it's not going to come back. It's not going to boomerang right back on them because you're talking to unstable people, you know? So you're rallying up unstable people, and extreme unstable people, it's not really, they don't have they're not in the world, you know? They're in their emotions. And so you can never go far enough for them. So any little slight or lack of mention, like for that guy, he wants AOC to slaughter an Israeli. He wants her to be fighting. So he waited for her at the movies just to tell her she's not doing enough. Which again, what's she supposed to do? I'm going to defend AOC for a second. What is AOC supposed to do? Biden can't even stop this guy. Biden's threatening him and he's just going, fuck you. He's just going, fuck you. Biden's going, listen, man, if you invade Rafah, is that what it's called? If you invade, yeah, I think it's called Rafah. If you continue into Rafah or Rafah, whatever the fuck it's called, right? We're going to have talk about, you know, this relationship. And Netanyahu's going, fuck you, dude. Israelis support me. This is what I do. This is what he's always done. So if Biden, the leader of our country, can't make a ceasefire happen, what's AOC going to do? What are people going to Jersey going to do? What are people trying to get into the tunnel to go back home to Jersey going to do? But that, you know, you're not dealing with people who are operating in their neocortex. They're strictly in the limbic system. I've been doing too much reading about the brain. But that's how it goes, you know? And even people, look, if people in Hollywood could get the message, then I think some of these people who've been rallying up crazy people can get the message too. Like, hey, I don't know if this is exactly how you want to go about things. Because I think the Oscars only had one person mention a geopolitical or social cause, right? Like, I guess the word has spread. The word has spread that it's just not messaging right. People don't want to be lectured by actors. They just don't. And so I think ratings were up a little bit, right, from last year, but not lofty. But they were up for the Oscars. God, she's so beautiful, though.
Check out what's in her pocket, dog.
She's got a Zin in her pocket. I'm voting for her now. I bet you I would really like her.
Yeah, I think
There's a
you would.
lot of things she says that I agree with.
Yeah.
Like, I agree with her getting not allowing members of Congress to invest in stocks.
Yeah.
She's for that.
Yep.
There's a lot of things. Some other things, no.
I don't think
Mostly no.
Yeah, I don't think she believes in everything she says either.
I don't know if she believes it.
Yeah.
But she's definitely like, you know, a
kinda
capable bartender.
She kind of looks like a party.
Dude, she's so beautiful. It's like crazy how good looking she is.
Look at that Zen. I
Yeah,
love
she
it.
got a Zen 10 right in there. I mean, her and Tucker could sit down. Now, Tucker will sit down with anybody now. So, you're the dictator of Botswana. You know, the problem is, you buy all this propaganda that Botswana is just this hellhole. But let me tell you something. I went to a sandwich shop in Botswana, and the bread in Botswana smelled pretty good.
So you're a Haitian cannibal.
So, you're a Haitian cannibal. Now, the word in America is that things are pretty bad. But let me tell you something. The National Guard is in the subways of New York City. So what's worse? What happened to our cities? So here I am in Russia in a 2-block radius and that I'm allowed to go. Things are pretty good. Do you know what I just spent at the grocery store? $100. I forgot to mention that people live off of $200 a week. I just want to say to fucking Tucker, have you ever been to a fucking Whole Foods, man? Is Whole Foods not the most glorious place you've ever been to?
Yeah.
It's so great.
The guy knows his audience.
He knows his
He
audience.
knows what he's doing.
He knows his audience.
Yeah, he's bigger
He's
than
talking
ever.
to the people who want to go, hey, man, Russia's not that bad. We don't want to fund Ukraine anymore. He just went there and went, always look on the brighter side of life. That's all he did.
He's an optimist.
He's just an optimist. He went, look, man, listen, man, hear this guy out. He's got some points, and I believe him. He's a guy who shoots from the hip. He doesn't hide anything. He's not tricky at all. He shoots from the hip. Again, my favorite part of that speech, because it was a speech. It wasn't an interview. It was a fucking speech. It was a speech with like 3 questions. Was when he gave props to the CIA for doing their good. That was so funny when he was like, look, they did their job. It was just like game recognizing game. He's like, look, they went into Ukraine. They did some, propaganda. They helped out. They helped oust my guy, the guy who was friendly to me, and they supported the pro-West guy. Look, I'm not going to hate. They did their job. And he was like, actually, he tipped his hat. It's like playing against, it's like Kobe going, listen, I don't know what we can do with Kevin Durant. He's good. So that was very funny. But she's so hot. Her face is so beautiful. But it's funny to see her in New York. She's just minding her own business. She just wanted to see Barbie. And this guy follows her all the way out. Oh, he's not alone, right? There's some maniac girl there in a knit hat. Isn't that a coincidence? Look, like I said, and she's screaming back at him. She's like, you're a liar. You're a fucking liar. Things have gotten very uncivil. I don't think it's been this uncivil since probably the Vietnam War. That was a very uncivil part. Uncivil, is that a word? Yeah, probably.
Sure.
There's a lack of civility going on within parties, across parties. It's really, you watch the State of the Union, this Cro-Magnon faced bitch started yelping things out, screaming. She's dressed in a MAGA hat. She looked like she stopped by a merch store in the middle of Alabama, like whatever their tourist attraction is, and just picked up all. She looked like she's been up every night at 4 a.m. and bought every Trumpy bear, every hat, she's just decked out in right-wing merch. You guys know what I'm talking about. Marjorie Taylor Greene. She gives having 3 names a bad name. People usually got 3 names besides Louis J. Gomez. It's really Louis J. Gomez and Marjorie Taylor Greene are the 2 people who have a middle initial or a middle name who just give that whole motif a bad name. Pun intended. So she's just screaming out like in the middle.
Well, she screamed out, "Say her name,"
Say her name.
about the nursing student. Yeah.
Yeah. Look at how she came dressed, though. It's almost like Trump is a baseball team and she's at the game.
Yeah.
She's dressed.
She looks like a race car driver.
Dude, she's got buttons on. She's got the Make America Great Again hat. She's got the shirt, say her name. She's got the red jacket. I mean, she's in full-blown uniform. You know. I don't know. I could see it happening. I could see, you know. Look, if Trump was 40, I could see it happening. I could see him getting in office and be like, you know what, we're going to change a few things now. You know, I'm not leaving. I could see it. I could see it. You know, the country's just in that state now where people just love the guy. You know, he's starting to get more popular. Everything's backfiring. You know, they're trying to take him down. He's just getting, you see some similarities. He does speak a certain way. He does throw some compliments out there. He does. He goes, look, you know, Aziz is a brilliant guy. He does say things like that. He admires some qualities of dictators. You know? He never leads with like, but you can also make the point that that is sort of a savvy way to deal with Putin, right? I think I made that point last episode, so I don't want to repeat myself, but he did take 52 sanctioning actions against Russia. He was not too kind to Russia. He did more against Russia than Obama did. So that's an interesting way to compliment him, but then, you know, what is it? Speak softly and carry a big stick. I already said all this, and I already know that. Doesn't mean I'm running out of things to say because we still got a lot to cover. Like Steph Curry saying it's not beyond him to run for president. I would vote for Steph Curry.
Yeah.
He's a good leader, man. Always calm.
You'd vote for him over The Rock?
I would, because listen, he seems to represent everybody, right? Like, because he's really religious and Christian. He seems to be in a monogamous relationship. Everything else is probably legally binding, to be quiet. And he's old school that way, but then he's also like very progressive in ways. So I think the key is he can represent everybody. You don't got to speak, he speaks good, but you don't got to like speak like be an amazing public speaker anymore, you know? You just got to be a popular guy. I would vote for Steph Curry. Yeah, he says it's something he's considering if he thinks he can make a difference. I think Steph Curry can make a difference. I do. Look, Steve Largent won, right? He was a wide receiver. We've had a lot of former athletes that go. I mean, what's the deal? He's Trump was a reality star. I mean, we're here. You know, who was the comedian from SNL who got elected and then got canceled for the pictures?
Yeah, what the hell is it?
Yeah. I'm good enough. People like me. That guy. Yeah. Dude, we're getting older. We can't even remember names anymore. I'd vote for him. Steph Curry from Deep. I'd go for whatever, you know. 3. Steph Curry for 3 more years. 1 year in. 4-point play, you know. 4 more years, 4-point play. 3 in the foul. I mean, you could just get it cooking. The golden boy from Golden State.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Klay Thompson will be his vice president.
Klay Thompson will be his vice president.
Splash Brothers in office.
Yeah, off the bench. Splash Brothers in office. Yeah, it's great. The presidency's commentated by
Stephen A. Smith.
Kevin Harlan.
Kevin Harlan.
When the bombs drop, down from way downtown. Curry from way downtown. Curry is going off tonight. Whoa, 15 for 15 on Middle Eastern villages. He is unconscious. Dropping bombs from deep. I mean, you know, it lends itself. Now, I did see Poor Things, Jesse. I did go and see the movie Poor Things.
What do you think?
I don't know what to think. Emma Stone does get banged out throughout the movie.
Thoroughly.
Yeah, thoroughly banged out, full orgasm faced, many titty shots, full body shots, muff shot. It was a full muff shot.
Yeah. She put it all out there.
I felt weird about it when she was getting banged out as like semi-slow.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. A little odd.
It's a weird story. It's based on a book about this surgeon who, it's so dark, dude. Can these Europeans, does it always have to be a dark?
He's a Greek guy.
Yeah, I mean, how many times are these guys going to make like the same type of sort of dark, weird, crazy camera angles, dreamlike settings?
So she won for Best Actor.
She
Best
did do a good
Actress.
job, even though she did go half-blown. Special.
Call back to
Yeah.
Tropic Thunder.
Yeah, she did. It was another Oscar for one of those.
Yeah.
It was an I Am Sam Oscar.
You're never supposed to go full. Though.
She went, and she didn't go full.
She didn't go full.
You never go full. She went a quarter. She went a quarter, and then she got, she wasn't, because she has her baby's brain in her body. And then you notice how she just learns very quick. Next thing you know, she's like learning philosophy in 2 minutes.
Ruffalo was good.
And she was good. Look, she was good. Shout out to Rami, because he was really good in that. Incredible in that. He was so good. Of course, William Dafoe was good. And shout out to Gerard Carmichael, who was in it. And he was very good. But it's a weird movie. You know? It's a weird movie where at the end, like, she's sort of like the hero. She's like in this good place because she turns her father, it's really her father, into like a dog with a dog's brain or a sheep's brain. Bah, he's like eating grass. And then
No, that was her ex-husband.
But no, it's her father now.
Oh, now it's her father, right.
Yeah, because she's got the baby's brain now.
Right.
So it was her father.
It's an odd movie.
It's an odd movie.
His whole filmography is odd.
It's odd, right?
Yeah, he's in another. He's out there.
Yeah, because it kind of felt like a weirdly feminist movie, where like she's like, I'm gonna be a surgeon,
Right.
But she, like, basically loves who she calls God, which is her maker. This strange. It's like Frankenstein meets Gloria Steinem. That's an accurate description of it, right? It's kind of like a feminist piece. She's like, she owns her body.
Right.
The guy that marries her is like, your body's yours. I don't care that you were fucking banging all these dudes. And then he goes, have you got an STD test? Like, it didn't bother him because he's a progressive guy. It didn't hurt that the actor is also, not pale. And who said that? So it's like, I was wondering, is there like a lot of hidden messages here? Because at the end, like, the white war guy has been turned into, the evil white war guy has been turned into a goat. And she's sitting there with her former black prostitute lesbian friend and her husband, who doesn't care that she was getting banged out as a whore in Paris. And the three of them are sitting there just like sipping tea while the white guy's just on the floor going, bah, bah.
Hey, read into it as you will.
Yeah, I mean, I just don't, it hit me. Like, I don't know if I was reading into it too much. I don't know if that was the subtext.
No, that's not subtle at all.
It's a little, it wasn't subtle, right? It was a little weird.
Very, very weird.
It
It was basically a coming of age story, right?
was a coming of age. It was a coming of age story. In Fast Forward, where a full-grown woman has a baby's brain, and then she learns about coming, and then all she wants to do is fuck. So she fucks nonstop for 2 hours straight. She can't stop fucking. She takes a job as a prostitute, gets banged out by the most heinous dudes, gets eaten out by a black prostitute who becomes her friend, who gives her tea or whatever. And then at the end, she just invites that girl into her house, and she lives happily ever after with her Muslim husband and her black lesbian lover, while the evil white guy has been turned into a goat. But I don't know.
Yeah, who knows?
I'm not saying that.
It's open to interpretation.
It's open to interpretation. But that line, I love when she was like, you're not upset, right, that I banged all these dudes? And he's like, it's your body. It's your choice. Remember that part at the end when they're walking? He's like, it's your body. I don't have any proprietary rights to your body. It's your body. And then he goes, it's totally cool with me. And that's sort of the thing, right? That's sort of the message. It's like, hey, you shouldn't be bothered by things that really bother you, right? Like, don't say, like, reality's like, don't, it's all instruments of the patriarchy. Don't pay any attention to it. She banged out all these dudes in a brothel, but she's the hero of the story. I don't think that makes her a bad person, right? A person's transformation. So officially, it's a personal transformation and breaking free from societal constraints. So there you have it. Yeah, she was just like acting wild in like polite society, and then she became a whore, and those scenes were wild. She was banging the grossest of the grossest dudes. Getting banged out. I mean, there's no way she doesn't have a disease if you look at those French dudes she was banging. Right? I mean, how do you not get a disease when you're pulling in the amount of money? She made enough money there to make it back to London or wherever she was. Is there a deeper meaning behind Poor Things? This is on Reddit. It's about a woman realizing she doesn't need men in an age where women are more or less viewed as property. Yeah, there's a lot of truth to that. I'll say this, guys. Guys, we need to support independent women, okay? They need our support. They can't do it on their own. So, support independent women because they need it. You got it. You're not stupid. They can't do this on their own. Support independent women. They need us. They can't do it without us. So be an ally because independent women need us to be independent. Look, this is International Women's Month or whatever? I am so glad that a woman can now earn as much as a man so they can both afford to pay someone else to raise their kid. It's the libertarian dream of a Jamaican nanny state.
Did you watch with your wife?
No, I watched it alone. I think she would have watched it like, what is going on?
Yeah.
It's not her type of movie.
No,
it's not her type of movie. She didn't even like Good Will Hunting. She's like, I don't like Matt Damon now.
What?
Yeah. She's like, I don't like the way he treated that British actress.
Oh.
Yeah, my wife's like that. It would have been way too weird for her. It was too weird for me, and I'm kind of an esoteric kind of guy. I like that stuff, but at the end, I just didn't know what to feel. Like maybe that was part of it. It definitely held my interest, though. I will say that. It held my interest. There was a few funny moments, but I didn't know how much of that was just sort of the wild nature of it. A lot of it was just contrived, I don't know what to feel with that. Maybe that means I like it. Maybe I'll come back in 3 days. Maybe I'll watch it again and say, it's definitely worth watching again if you want to pull your Peter.
I was going to say, did you watch it in an Airbnb?
Yeah, I mean, if you look, Emma Stone gets banged out repeatedly, okay? But, even me, who's an Emma Stone fan, felt a little weird about the beginning when she's just like not full capacities and she's getting... It's a little weird, right? Anyway. This was probably an advertisement for, what was it called? Poor Things? Because people are definitely going to go see it. It's worth it to watch Emma Stone get banged out. Because the Greek guy was definitely sold her on that. He's like, we need to, in order to really make the film, there needs to be a lot of sexual, what do you call it? Furious jumping. Enthusiastic jumping, what was it called? Remember? That's what they called it in the movie. We have to see you many times. Fully. I mean, it's over and over and over again. They don't suggest it. You see it. So go out there and see Poor Things. It doesn't have a message. And neither do I. My only message to you is to keep on rocking in the free world. Maybe it's a little too free. Want to give a small business shout out to Jared Z. Guys, if you're buying your car out of state or if you're moving, hit up exclusiveautoshipping.com. Student and military discounts apply. Visit them at exclusiveautoshipping.com. They'll move your car for you. Chris Minetti, his number is 215-750-3730. if you want to cash a business check and no other place is really giving you an opportunity, Chris Minetti will give you an opportunity to cash that check. He's got no website. He's got no social media. All we know is he's got a name and a phone number. That's as far as I know. I know the IRS can't track anything he does. And he likes that. I know that. Because it's in his copy. So hit him up at 215-750-3730 if you're in the South Jersey area or Philly and see how it goes if you live. forthefree.art, music in Hawaii. I love that read. I'm almost like daring them to stop. Go check it out if you like music and you like Hawaii. There's no other way to say it. If you need marketing help, right? Everyone's got a small business. Girls, if you got an OnlyFans and you want to monetize, there's nobody better than our good old friend Nate Linder. All right? He's back like he never left. No, you did leave. You did leave. So don't say it's back like you never left, because I tell you how I know you left. Our money went down a little bit. So I know you were gone, Nate. All right? And you're supposed to be the money guy. But Nate can help you rank number one on Google and drive business leads. He's been crushing it with construction companies with a lot of undocumented labor. I'm just making that part up. So think marketing, think Nate Linder. All right, this guy is a marketer. He's marketing to me. I know his name now. I've always known his name now. It's Nate at Nate_Linder on Instagram. And that's where you go check him out. Nate_Linder on Instagram. DisplayPros.net. They will build your trade booth. It's a custom trade booth, retail fixtures, and promotional items. Can we get some swag? Can they build us a set?
Good idea.
Yeah. The turnaround time is unbelievable. If you need a custom display in a hurry, they gotcha. Completely professional service. That's not all. You can expect that they will work with you to make sure you're completely satisfied at displaypros.net. Mention my name, you get 10% off just your first order, your first purchase. So if you're doing a trade show, you know who to hook up. We have a big trade show demographic. People are constantly doing trade shows. I get messages all the time like, hey, I'm in a trade show right now. I need some custom fixtures. And I say, I got displaypros.net, got you covered, Nate Linder. Be fun if they hire each other. Everyone should hire Nate Linder on this. That would be great. Especially Ma Insurance Services, MA Insurance Services, who I think got a client from us. I think I saw a message like that. Yeah.
Oh, good for him. It's all worth it.
It's all been worth it, man. 813-260-0338. Ma Insurance Services have a wide range of coverage plans for everything, anything you could think of. It's a local independent agency located in St. Petersburg, Florida. They'll get you covered. So call them up at mainsuranceservices.com or hit them up at 813-260-0338. Matthew Albani. Cap or tack? Okay, you want a little help with trying to figure out where you should put your juice on a sporting event? Hit up Cap Attack. They got all sport betting tools and content you need to help you win. They use machine learning AI to simulate game results and give you the best betting advice available. It's 100% free, so there's no risk to you. Hear them out. Go to cappertech.com or download the Cappertech app in the Apple Store or Google Play Store. Rebels Raider. I love these backpacks. I love them. I really do. I use it. So he sells high-end tactical backpacks, pouches, and backpacks and packs for everyday carry. Going to the airport, outside activities, hiking, trail running, training, whatever. You need a bag, he's got great bags. So go to rebels-raiders.com to get your real deal tactical gear right now. And of course, thinkingman.substack.com. Check them out. It's a newsletter based in NYC that publishes articles, essays, and thoughts on things like books, movies, pop culture, and politics. The goal is to get people to start thinking for themselves again. Don't just take what Yanni says is truth. And I agree with you. Join Thinking Man. Subscriptions are free or $5 a month if you're feeling generous. Find them on Substack at Thinking Man or search the link thinkingman.substack.com. See you next time.